Should be working. Okay. Cool. Live? Looks live? Looks live and shit? Hey. Nice. Okay. Let me just... how do I find a link to this shit on this page so that people can see it? Here it is. Boop. Okay. Hi, everybody. Why does that say our... Okay, well... that is not the... Wow. A bit quiet. How is this? Is it better? Is it better now that it is louder? Is this a little bit better? Is that too loud? How's this? Is this good? How are we doing? Is it good? Okay. What's the does it have the old info box down there? Does it say something about buff steel flex instead of about D&D in the description? Huh. Okay. Let me move that around, huh? There we go. Yeah, I want... Oh, come on. I'm having a hard time moving my chat around. That's frustrating. Okay. There we go. Stupid. Okay, yeah, okay. I don't know. The automatic tweet that came out didn't have the right shit on there. So let me just sorry, let me get this tweet going. Boop. Just so some more people can see. There we go. That's a little bit better. Thanks. All right. 51 of you watching already. I didn't even... 60. Okay. Actually, that's really nice. I'm really happy about that. Cool. So, today we are prepping D&D, which is fun. It's fun for me to do that. I was going to... D&D got canceled today. I'm sorry to hear that. Diet's going decent. I'm not as active as I wanted to be because my sleep schedule's been fucked up, but I'm trying to fix that. But yeah. Fuck, did I eat today? Oh yeah, I had a turkey sandwich and then I had these... I have a couple snacks. Wow, there are a lot of questions. I can't get to all of them, but I will try my best to get to every super chat. Also... just so you can see, is that actually, hey, that's really cool. So it's going, yeah, I just watched you eat. No, I did. Those were snacks. I was talking about actually like, like actual food. Okay, so yeah, that is actually popping up the live chat. I do have a Streamlabs as well, and I want to make sure that is a thing that you guys have access to. Boop! Because that will also get not just Super Chat, but Streamlabs is a way... here, I can just put that here. There's a Streamlabs right there. That way we actually get a full cut of that shit instead of giving it to YouTube too. So there's the Streamlabs. I'll put that in chat every once in a while. So if you want to do that, that's fine. Just to make sure that you get your shit read, I will. Yes, I am doing the Streamlabs. I will try very hard to answer all your questions, regardless. But I'm only one man, so don't know. So someone asked about how long a campaign is. Depends on what you actually mean, because a campaign is like the whole thing. And a session is like one time you sit down to play. So a campaign can go on as long as you want, honestly. It could go on perpetually forever and ever. Just depends on you and the DM, if you're players or whatever. As far as like a session, also up to you. We run for a lot longer than most people do. A lot of people run for like 3-4 hours. We go usually like 8 because everyone took Sundays off for it. So we... we just go hard, and it's a lot of DMing, which is why I prep so much up front. Um, but it's good to be prepared. Now, there's a difference between like writing everything out that your players are going to do and prepping the way I do, which is just so I can get ready for everybody and their decisions. So, last time, let me give you a rundown of the characters. We have Elenia the cleric. We have the professor. He is a bard. We have Evelios. He's an Aarakocran, which is a bird person ranger. And then we have Zudre, who is an elf rogue. And so we are going... they just went to a place called Nightstone, which houses the temple of the cleric that she grew up with, and that's the one she uses a lot. And it was through some means they got transported into the future. I don't want to give away too much. They got transported into the future against their will, and they missed a lot of things that happened. And so now, instead of it being nice and kind of stable, the region has destabilized. Not necessarily due to their absence, because they weren't like high-level heroes to begin with. They're about level 3 when that happened, but just they weren't even able to intervene at all. So that town has since been taken over by like a gang presence, a la Jabba the Hutt, sort of. And so they want to take it back. They decided that they wanted to take purge the sort of gang. And so they're doing that next session. And I expect that they will be able to accomplish this feat. We had them do some role-playing to decide how they want to do it. So they tried to spread rumors. No, they're not grandma glasses. They're earbuds. They wanted to spread rumors in town to try to get the townspeople to go for and kind of help. One of your DMs won't allow Aarakocra because you can't pronounce it. Well, he's fucking retarded. I don't understand that. Steven. I'm going back to my repetitive nothingness. I love you, Steve. You're the best. You're my favorite. You're my favorite Steve in the whole world. Anyways, they want to purge the town of a gang. They went to the townspeople, and some of them were more or less receptive. And so they made a series of rolls. I actually have to figure out tonight how well they did based on... So basically, if they did good or bad, the DC of... which is difficulty class of their... I guess roll to get that person to do the thing they wanted, to get these people to help. They're trying to have the townspeople trick some of the gang members into this large garden area and try to counterattack, so that the heroes, our player characters, didn't have to kill every one of the gang members, and hopefully not have to kill every one of the gang members. There's about 50 of them. And how effective that would be, and how many people would be there, and so I have to figure out all of that. I might not just roll for it, because specifically Hugo's girlfriend did amazing on hers. She was really... She roleplayed the fuck out of it. She did a really great job. And, sorry, I got hiccups. And, so I'm probably going to reward her pretty well. My girlfriend, on the other hand, had kind of a hard time, both with her roles and her roleplay in the situation, because she couldn't quite convince, due to the charisma of the other person that she was trying to talk to. She couldn't quite convince that person to, fuck with what's going on, at least not to the capacity she wanted. So, we got to decide kind of the townspeople. So I'm going to write down townspeople, and kind of the number of people that are going to help. And I'm going to say that 2 townspeople can take out 1 gang member, and 1 gang member can take out 2 townspeople, because that's kind of the that makes sense, I think, on average. And then so we're going to see basically if the townspeople die, and the population of this place is about 500 people. It's not a big place. and then that will determine the encounter as far as like how many gang members the players have to face, not including the leader of that sect of the gang. There's a leader of the gang, like the boss, the mob boss, basically, that controls that. And then there's, we can call him the lieutenant or whatever you want, the gang member that's in charge of this area, because it's several hundred miles away to another town, or I guess not, dozens of miles away. So I think like Jabba the Hutt, Boba Fett, because that's kind of the analog I drew, because it was kind of a fun Star Wars-y roleplay last time. But I don't really know D&D, but I like hearing you talk, so I'll listen anyway. I appreciate it. By the way, Streamlabs is a thing that we're doing, and it'll pop up on the screen there, and I'll be able to see. It'll show a little tone. It'll be really cool, and also you'll help the show a lot, because we genuinely do need each and every one of you. Whenever you guys help out the show, it really, really, really helps. It keeps it going, because YouTube. So. Nice haircut. Thanks. Didn't get one. Appreciate you. Oh, there's a thing. Thank you for subscribing, Vic Von Doom 666. I don't know why that's still a zombie, but it is. It's still a zombie. Rolled my first character because of your videos, Halfling Rogue. Very nice. Halfling rogues are very common. Always tip your whores. I am your whore. That's true. Halfling rogues are common because although they have a little bit less movement because they're short. There's 25 instead of 30 feet, which can come into play. But they're very good at stealth, and they're small, and it kind of looks cool. Thanks for following, people that are following on Twitch as well. I'm on Twitch. I guess I will link that as well, although we're not doing this on Twitch right now. We are doing this on YouTube, of course. But here's my Twitch. That's going to be just me. That is my thing. So we have to figure out, this is what we're doing tonight, how many people are effectively fighting against the gang. Then we have to figure out how effective that fighting is. We have to figure out, like, how much the gang does, and then that'll determine how many people the players have to actually fight. But first, let's take questions. Let's take some questions before we get into that, because once I get into that, I will only be taking questions for probably super chats and Streamlabs, because it won't pop up and I won't notice it. So just before we get into that, I want to make sure that everybody, even if you have $1 to send, gets a little bit of a chance here, because that sounds just unfair, and I try to be cool. Any character ideas you've never played but want to? I've never actually, as a player, played like a wizard before, but I think that would be really fun. I think that would be just a really good time. Especially because of the first the first two characters I played with were more of a physical damage sort of. I had one rogue and I had technically a battle mage. It was a homebrew thing, but neither of them really used a ton of magic. So I would like to do that as a player, but I'm not going to be a player for a while. Although I am going to start an online campaign. One of my buddies is DMing, so he's actually my first DM of all time. He's doing an online campaign because I moved away from where he lives. So hopefully. Are you suggesting that halfling race is predisposed towards thievery? No, of course not. I would never do that. Jake, your D&D vids have been very helpful to me starting DM my first campaign. I hope you like them. I'm glad that it's working out for you. How long before you and Hugo have a huge argument that will create a civil war between the channel? I can't imagine that's going to happen. Do you use Roll20? I have before, and it's very nice. It works really well. How would you suggest to spend how much time? Is that what the question is? Hold on. How long would you suggest to spend prepping? However long you need to prep your stuff. The first time you prep, it's going to be a long time because you're not settled into the role of DM usually. You're not settled into what the characters want to do or how your players want to go. Oh, look, I got little fuzzies up top. So, yeah, just play it by ear, and whatever you feel prepped for the next session, that's fine. There's not really a system. Do you acknowledge that Pathfinder is a superior system? I do not. It's fucking just bogged down with numbers. Let's see, a couple more. Going to do 2 or 3 more. Okay, this is a good question. As a DM for the first time, and I'm making a homebrew world, I did as well. My world's name is Kadur, Kdoor. We are playing on a roll 20. How much of the game should be in the theater of the mind, and how much should be actually mapped? So I do theater of the mind for everything that's not a battle map. So unless they need to tactically see where they're at, I try to be as descriptive as possible. And then sometimes those descriptions show up on battle maps. I'm trying to think of a scenario. I do give them physical. They actually have physical handouts that are maps. I strongly suggest stuff like handouts, any sort of map. For instance, this is their base building. Can you see that? Yeah. This is the area that they can build a base on. So this is, it's a rudimentary system, but they can still tell. I have layouts of the base inside that is like this, and if they have a battle or something, they can look at it. Oh, sorry. There you go. And so this is what's the contents of that, and it kind of works in their mind. This is the town of Nightstone that they're currently in. I showed them this. Again, rudimentary, but that's fine. There's one main road, a little town at the bottom. It's got some stuff labeled, a big garden in the middle, and that rests on a cliff. And then there's a little hut and a big temple where the main fight is going to take place for the players. What else do we have in here? I can't show you that because it has secrets on it. For instance, this is the main city. This is the biggest city. And all of the races, the major races in the world, have what we call wedges, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Those are all wedges of the city of Gygax, which is tongue-in-cheek. Get it? Gary Gygax made D&D, and then I called my city Gygax. Shut up, Jake. So this is the big city, and I don't know if you can tell, but each of these squares is like a half mile, so that's pretty fucking big. The population here, it was 2 million. 5 years later, things have happened, but it had some surrounding stuff. So it doesn't have to be super detailed, but because it was the major city, I wanted to have enough going on. But they have maps of a lot of this stuff. They have a world map as well. I guess I can show you part of the world map. And by the way, I did a lot of this on Donjon or just by hand. Actually, my world map is downstairs. Okay, well, you don't get to see the world map then. Take that. I also do suggest a folder. And I have things in here, like handouts that let me see what ability checks. Specifically, this is the most important page for me. It's turns and combat and all that stuff, and it has like a layout for all these things in case I forget, or in case someone asks, can I do something that's a little unconventional. And then I have player sheets in the back here. This is pretty cool. These are Fallout player sheets. I got some other, I have regular ones too that come in the handbook. But yeah, so there's a lot of that shit. And then, so I'm going to put this shit back real quick. I have a couple more resources that I use. So that's my blue folder. That's kind of what I take to game day downstairs. So this is like all my prep stuff right here. Then I also have this, which is just where I jot down maps and stuff as I think of them. And then I put that on a dry erase battle map as that comes in. I have a campaign log. This is the thing I take notes in while the campaign is happening. It's a little bit smaller, and I can keep notes and stuff in here. And then this black notebook is my idea log, which is the black book means you can't look at it. So this has like plot hooks I could use, characters I want to bring up, puzzles I think of, random encounters I think of that I think would be fun, just all sorts of stuff. So, and then I have all the books over here, not all of them, but a lot of them. So and I said I would answer one more before I get into the actual planning. Good question. How should I encourage my characters to interact with NPCs and exploring the world around them? Well, first of all, on Session 0. Session 0 is before you actually start rolling dice. And Session 0 can be a prelude to Session 1 that takes place in the same day. But Session 0 is, here's the rules. Let's get familiar with character sheets. Let's get familiar with table etiquette. Lay down your rules. So, are you going to allow people? Thank you, Guy Schronsky, for subscribing to the channel. Are you going to allow people? I still don't know why that's a fucking zombie. I changed that. Maybe I can change that right now while I'm talking. So, the fuck was I talking about? Maybe I can't change that while I'm talking. Why? Why am I bad? Let me find your shit again. Let me find your shit. I'm sorry. I will remember. Oh, how do you get them to interact with the world? Sorry. My brain doesn't work sometimes. So have the Session 0, and so if you're going to allow them to be on their phones all the time, specifically magic casters I do allow on their phones because they're often looking up spells. But if you're like a rogue or something, you kind of don't need that. So it's just a distraction. It takes away from the thing. Giving them physical handouts. For instance, you can't read this, so this is fine. One of my characters has a kind of a magical coded note, and it's all scrambled, and it looks like this. It's actually Zudre's, and she might get a new one depending on her actions next session, so I just have that prepared. She's trying to get it decoded, so I have actual props that she can hold in her hand in real life, and that kind of cements her in the world. Hugo's character gets riddles. I hand out the riddles. So that makes the world real, having them an actual physical map of the world they're in, instead of explaining it and kind of showing it to them when they ask, like actually making printouts. But also, the biggest one for roleplay, honestly, I kind of talked about this, was it the first or second D&D video I done? It's on you if you're the DM. You gotta like get after it with your roleplay. So, for instance, I have a character. He's a shopkeep. He's super weird. His name is Sig, and I'll do the voice for you. I'm gonna try to I don't know, sell you something cool, something that they already have. So I'm not gonna, you know. So you would walk into a shop. I'll DM it to you. Fuck it. Let's DM it. So you walk into a shop. And inside, there's just stuff all over the place. It's like kind of looks like a hardware store, but there's definitely magical elements all over the place. There's weapons laying on the ground. Sometimes there's a piece of armor. Sometimes there's just trinkets. There's vials. It doesn't seem to have any really organizational pattern. And kind of far back behind this, what I would call a bench, maybe a table, kind of like a clerk would stand behind it. Is just the top of a head, and the top of that head has ears poking out next to it, and fuzzy, just white, light hair right on the top. And as you walk forward, you smell the sulfuric smell of gunpowder, which is odd, because gunpowder isn't a very common thing in these parts. But then you just hear muttering. You hear, where is that thing? Where did I put that? Oh, where did that go? Oh, I found it. Good! And so you walk forward, you keep walking, and behind the counter, behind the shuffling and behind the muttering, you see a small halfling. Probably, I don't know how old halflings get. They get pretty old, but he looks like if he were a human, he'd be in his 70s. He's got a very long, sort of thin nose, very gaunt, long fingers, just black soot underneath the nails. And little spectacles and goggles above those on his forehead. And he pops up when he sees you come in. He goes, "Well, hello! What are you doing?" And that's Sig. That's my shopkeep Sig. So, and then he tries to sell you something cool. So you go, "Oh, I would like to buy. You guys have anything? I don't know. You have any weapons or anything?" "Weapons? Why would you want weapons when you could have this?" And you hear him rifle underneath the table. And he pulls out a tiny green vial. "You want this? It's pretty cool." And then, you can just, based on Victor from Crit Roll, it's not, actually. I actually found out about that before I even watched the Victor thing. So, yeah. A blood mage, advanced. I don't know. Blood mage isn't a thing in D&D that I'm familiar with, unless that's a. Is that a Xanathar's thing? Because can I do ASMR with Sig's voice? No. No, I will not. That is not a thing I will be doing. Let's see. I don't know what a blood mage does. There's a war mage. Is it just war mage? Is that the only thing? Blood mage must be homebrew then, right? Warlock of the Hexblade. There's a warlock. Yeah, I don't see any. I don't see other mages, so it must be homebrew. If it's homebrew, I typically don't. I try not to let new players go into the deep sort of magic stuff because it can be, unless they've already played some sort of tabletop thing. Yeah, 5e homebrew. See, the D&D wiki is hit and miss with the homebrew stuff because some of it's game breaking. If that's something you want to deal with as a DM, go for it. Please do a TPR episode entirely in the Sig voice. Yeah. I think Hugo would get tired of that pretty quick. So we're gonna do this. Thank you so much. You're welcome. So let's figure this out. So what I need, do you guys want to, first let me ask, do you guys have dice? Like, do any of you have a D20? If you do have a D20 just like on you, maybe we'll use you guys. And don't lie about the rolls because I need them. So we're gonna figure out someone that's the designated roller. Maybe 2 of you, 3 of you, 4. So Thomas, Crate. I will try to remember you. And okay, you guys are okay. I gotta say, I never played D&D, but I've been playing many Gwar shows. Have a full-blown Gwar tribute band. I have like 20. Well, I have a lot of them too, but they're all downstairs, and I started this without thinking, so I'm not gonna leave you. That'd be boring. My character puts his hands in his pockets and looks for a bus ticket. Okay, well, he got it. He can leave now. Okay. So, I'm going to pick at random then, because it seems like a lot of you guys have dice ready to go. Wow, that is just so nice. So if you do have dice, let me get my parameters down real quick, because I'm going to add modifiers to each of the characters for how well they did. So actually, what they had to do is they had to roll charisma rolls, like charisma checks, a couple of them, with a conversation with one influential townsperson. And then when they left, they had to roll stealth to see how sneakily they pulled that off, because all of them were in populated areas. So to see if anyone was tipped off. So we are going to have one stealth and one one charisma D20 roll from you guys. And what I'm probably going to do is when it comes up, you guys roll your D20s. Just show me the number without anything else on there. And then I'll roll one of my D6s that I do have on my desk. And I will pick from one of the things I have on here. And then I'll tell you which one we use and everything. We're going to have a bunch of them. So you definitely have several chances to get this. But if you are one of the first 6, you'll probably have the best. So, the best shot, anyway. So, let me write this real quick. Keep in mind, again, that I am using Streamlabs, and we are using Super Chat. At this point, it's going to get a little tough for me to keep up with chat if I'm doing this at the same time. So, if you absolutely want to have a question answered, I will take a break if you do either Streamlabs, which pops up over here, or if you do the Super Chat. So I will try my best to stay on top of that, just so you know. Okay, so let me don't say your rolls yet. Just hold on to those. I need to write down some stuff first so I can just do it all real quick. Stealth. Okay. So charisma and stealth. And then we'll do that. And then they're each going to get modifiers for these rolls based on how well they did. And so we will see if it turned out okay. And I'm not going to tell you the results necessarily, but I will tell you who I choose and what it's going for. So that was that, and that was that. Not great. And this is a fun way to do this, by the way. If you ever just don't want to just like determine it yourself because you're the DM and you can determine whatever the fuck you want, try rolling it with people. Also, I really like my Keemstar. Oh, I really like using this crowdsource to roll the rolls. It's really fun. It's a good time. Okay, no more Keemstar voice, I promise. Unless you want that, but you'll have to pay me. Holding up the garage. Canned food and gun. No, I'm good. I'm not gonna doomsday prep. Oops, she actually did poorly on the stealth part. Ah! My pencil fell. Oh no. Stream's ruined. Okay, we fixed it. Everything's fine now. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so ASMR Keemstar voice. Okay, so I need so this first round of D20s, go ahead and roll your D20, and then I will roll a D6 to decide. I'm gonna do 2 of them, so I will use 2 of your numbers, and I'll roll a D6, and I'll decide whose number I use. If you roll high, you're doing my players a favor. So, oh wow, Fried Cassowary, thank you for donating. Let me zoom in here to make sure. Glad to see you set up Streamlands. Also, love you. I love you more. I do. It's true. You're the best. Thank you so much. Okay. So, oh buddy. So we got the okay. So the first one we are using is actually the first person, so it's Dana Man Games with the 10. Okay, with the modifiers attached there, and Thomas DePonte. Oh, that is not good. That is not good at all. So we'll use the next 6. Boop, boop, boop. So we'll just start down here. So yeah, you can go ahead. I'll just use these bottom 6. There we go. So, ooh, 6. So that's AISRE 9607 AISRE. So that's a 20. Good for them. Okay, and then ooh, Jerry Shasao. So I use that. Okay, so I actually got 4 of the numbers out of that because you guys rolled enough. So let's go ahead and roll one more time. Let's go ahead. This is fun. Using bottoms, lols. Didn't realize I had to pull out my dice. You absolutely can. Well, I'll use your 5, Dylan, because there it is. So 5. Okay, that's actually pretty good. It's decent. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Hey, I did get your Irish sister. I did get your 20, which is very helpful because the modifier on that was shit. And then we got, okay, yeah, we have enough for another one. Jackster piece with your 13. Good modifier on that one. I need at least 3 more before I can roll again. Very fun. This is fun. I like this. I forgot my fucking dice and you guys just make up for it. What a good time. What a good time. I've never been so excited to roll dice for a random person. Nice. If a DM decides to play a game with other players in one edition, then decides to play with another edition, how hard is it to convert the mathematical semantics? Oh, it's pretty hard, but you can do it if you really want to. Okay. And 2. Ooh. Demetrius Remingus with the 17. Nice. You guys actually did pretty well for my players. I'm not going to lie to you. I used to know people who went exploring after midnight while playing D&D, and one of them ended up lost in a sewer. Like a real-life sewer? I need to know more about this. So I have all the rolls for that. I think we're going to roll more in a little bit. So let me... so let's say each of these is responsible for 10. And the DC is 10... Okay. So... 5, 5. Okay. That is actually pretty good. Okay, now what we're going to do, okay, is... So now we have the total number of gang members that our players are going to experience, because some of those rolls didn't exceed the DC, so they're going to get a certain number of gang members they have to fight off themselves, and then the rest the townspeople can take care of. But we have to see how well the townspeople do against the gang members. So, let's do it per 10. So there's a certain number of gang members left. Can you explain what you're doing? I'm new to this. Yes, I can. Stefan Pavlovich, I absolutely would love to. This is not a thing you have to do. I'm just kind of crowdsourcing some of my random tables that I'm drawing right now. I'm trying to decide, after a series of events that happened, my players want to purge a town of some gang members, and there's 50 gang members plus their boss. But they went around town and tried to convince the townspeople to help them out, and I determined how helpful that actually was by everybody else rolling. So we're kind of crowdsourcing this, and so now what we're on, so we've decided how many gang members the party has to face. Now we have to decide how well the townspeople can handle the gang members, because they outnumber the gang members, and if they do well enough, they can cut into the amount of gang members that the party will have to face. So making their fight easier or harder is basically the point here. So based on their rolls, how they did during this last roleplay session, where they went and talked to the townspeople, that's how we're determining how hard this next fight is. And you are helping 50 gang members. No, but they don't have to fight all 50. That's the point. I'm not going to tell you how many they have to fight, just in case any of my players watch this, which I know that sometimes they do. Elves can be racist, yes, because elves have privilege or something, whatever makes you racist. So, I'm going to need a certain number of that, and then... So let's just say 4 rolls for the gang. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll do 4 rolls for the citizens, but we'll give them a +5. So the citizens have an advantage. And then we'll decide after that, I'll just do some math without you guys, to decide how many of the citizens die in a fight versus how many of the gang members. Actually, no. Yeah, so +5. I don't know why I erased that. I'm stupid. Okay. So, I need just some D20 rolls. So go ahead and roll some D20s. And I will roll some D6s. And I'm going to take 4 of your D20 rolls. So whenever you guys get around to that, that's fine. Unless it's social charisma 4. Alright. Nice. This is very fun, by the way. I really enjoy you guys chiming in here. Do 3, so we have Jane Doe with the 18. So we're going to do those first. Zainbi bint Muhammad with a 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so Ink Dot with the 12. Let's see if we get another one. Almost. So 1, 2. Need some more. Let's do it. Not a dedicated roller. Are you not a dedicated roller? We went without the dedicated rollers. We decided to. Okay. So that one is a Skippy5403, got a 10. Okay. So now I need 4 more. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we'll start at Jane Doe again. Wow, the nat 20 got used. Zales Vandera 20. Nice. So I'll just start 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. Okay. 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. Wow, 19. You guys are helping them out a ton. And so we'll start at that 9 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Need 2 more. 5. And crate with the 5. Okay, so 10. That is a 24. That is a 15. And that is a 25. So we are going to be able to take some, because of you, we are going to be able to take some of the gang members away from the party so that they don't have to fight them. And now I will decide how many died. Okay. So there are 500 townspeople with blood. Orcs trading teeth, huh? Do the orcs have money? Because, of course, we're building a wall to keep the orcs out. No, they don't have money. Please tell me there may be a hostage situation the gang gets the upper edge. There could have been. I'm going to do the math right now to see if that's even possible for them. At a certain point, because, you know, not everything's kill or nothing. Sometimes there's like, maybe we'll leave or maybe we'll come back another day. They're going to have to make some charisma saving throws to decide if they're leaving or not. The ones that get beat by over 5. So there's 2 of those. Okay, so let's just do base 10. 50% chance that as they get slaughtered by the townspeople, they decide to just leave. Because actually, because of your rolls, the townspeople won every one of those fights. But some were even, and some were just routs. So I need one more round of D20s, at least for right now. And let's see. Jake is a genius. Able to outsource his number crunching and encounter tables. Always a plethora of ideas. Yeah. Genius. So genius. Okay, so we got a 4. Once we have 6 of those, I'm going to roll for it. 15. 3, 4, 2. Oh, God. Can you believe they got the fucking 2? I can't believe Thomas DePonte. They saved. Okay. Wow, I didn't have very good numbers there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so Skippy5403, they took your 6. They actually did not save on that one. So, one of our group of our gang members did fucking leave. And I guess we'll see how many casualties they took. Not many. So 8. Okay. So what we have now is, and this is very kind of nebulous, I guess. In your head, it can play out however you want. Your characters never even have to experience a lot of the stuff that we just decided, but they will experience the effects of that. Like, if say for instance, so we over here don't experience an oil spill, but in a week we experience the price of gas going up a little bit, right? So that's just it's kind of the same thing. You don't have to be there for you to feel the effects of a thing. So we'd have one save, so they stuck around, but they got killed, but that means more people died. Okay, so I'm going to say with a... This is a... And a 0. Okay. So I need one more round of d20s to determine the percentage of people that died in this. So each group of commoners had 125 people because it was 500 total townspeople, roughly. So we're going to determine the actual death count now of the townspeople. Wow, very low numbers. Okay, so... Okay, Thomas DePonte's 3. These are good for the townspeople, by the way. Low numbers are good. 4. So Jackster Peace with a 4. Let's start. Oh, fuck. Wow. 42. Come on. Come on. Don't fuck with me, man. Ink Dot with the 10. Which is actually, that was a good one. And 1, 2, 3. Sign No Mine with a 12. Okay, so this is just gonna go for a percent. There were some deaths. Oh, that's not accurate. It's half. Okay. Boop. 15. So I will let you know how many townspeople are about to die. Okay, so I gave them modifiers. I gave the townspeople versus the gang members modifiers. I gave the townspeople negative modifiers, so the lower the number, the lower the percentage. So a d20, each point was 5%, right? And each of them had 125 people. So, there are 4 groups of townspeople that we took from. So the first group only lost 10% of people. The second group lost 20. The third group lost 15. So we're doing pretty good. That's pretty good considering they killed all but 8 of the gang members. But the last group took 60% casualties. So, let me do some quick math here with my calculator. So we got 125 times 0.1 equals, well, obviously it's 12.5. Let's round down to 12. Okay, stupid. I'm so stupid sometimes. 25 times 0.2 is, I mean, that's clearly going to be 25. 25. So let's see how many people actually died. Round down, and then x equals 75. So the total deaths, 130 people. 130 of the townspeople died out of 500. That's not actually terrible considering the situation. So, fuck those guys, fuck the actual gangsters. Yeah. Yeah, they did. Plus gamers have a bit more fighting aptitude compared to your average peasant. Yeah, they do. That's... The town is filled with, like, peasanty peasants. So, yeah, it was a... They actually... You guys rolled really well for them on their behalf. Quick question. When is your next unboxing video, Jake? My snack crate is coming, if that's what you're asking. It should be in the mail very soon. The peasants, yeah. 2 + 2 is 4, minus 1, that's 3. Quick math, there you go. Does anyone else have a D4 that the numbers are on the side instead of the point? Yeah, mine are like that. Players are new, right? When you're going to confuse them with a mimic. Maybe soon, actually. Most of them are new. My girlfriend's the one that played the most. And then my buddy Alex, he played Pathfinder for a little bit. Both of them actually played Pathfinder, but neither of them will ever go back because they don't like it. So, let's decide. So that means we have 370 townspeople left. That's not bad. That's pretty decent. That's just a little bit over 2 to 1. Not terrible. Bye. Pathfinder's good because it's all online. That's not what? No. You can do D&D Beyond. It could be online. Roll20's online. Yeah. You don't have to. Didn't like Pathfinder, they need to be sued for hate speech. Pathfinder is so restrictive when it comes to, like... Okay, there's 2 problems with Pathfinder. You gotta roll a fuck ton of dice. A fuck ton, because there's a goddamn roll for everything, because there's so many stats. And all the players are just overpowered. Like, there's no balance to the game. I like D&D specifically because there are stakes. Like, it's not a video game. It's hard. And that's what I really feel for that. They're not all children. I guess let's see how many children died. Let's do that. That'll be fun. So I'm going to do, because there's not a ton of children, let's do 2 rolls with a -10 modifier. Go ahead and roll d20s. If I hit something that's over 10, that means kids die. 100% of the children. So I'll see how many of those survived or those dead were children. Oh god. Oh god. I cannot believe I got the 1. No, I got the 15. Skippy! Haha, 15. And from the bottom was Robot Monkey Boy 7, which turned into a 1. 12 children died. What a bummer. You guys just killed 12 kids. You're basically ISIS. What a bad time, huh? That sucks. You guys are terrible people. You should feel terrible. You should feel really bad. Hilarious, though. Do the rest of the children die of cancer? Not yet. I see that. I see that some of you are split on the kids. I actually like that though, because I like that the idea of the players being sort of secondarily responsible for the death of townspeople and children. 130 lives actually, but they're fighting for their freedom, you know. So yeah, so their final fight is going to be pretty decent. It's gonna be an interesting sort of night for them. I'm excited about it. Okay. Roll to determine who has trauma. Thank you for following, person. So, what else should we do? Okay. I have an idea. This is properly cinematic. Great work, team. Minimal child casualties. Nice. Can we do this for every session? Probably not every session, but I also love it. I am going to be streaming pretty regularly for setup days. Saturdays are the days before we play, so yeah. Who's responsible for another death? The enemies actually did not take anyone hostage. They didn't roll high enough. So, wasn't going to make them. These videos are boring for those who play D&D. Well, yeah, of course it would be. You have a clear attack of opportunity on that microphone. I could just bring it right in the center here for everybody. Can you hear me good when it's right there? Like, can you still hear me all right? Like, does the audio change that much? Because I'll keep it off frame if it's not a big deal. Audio sync is way off for you. It might be off. It's a live stream that kind of happens. I don't know how far way off for you is, though. It shouldn't be a ton. Yep, no change. Okay, cool. I'll just leave it on screen then. Again, though, it feels so much further away. I don't know. So, wild microphone appears. Roll for initiative. I don't have any D20s. How about this? How about let's make up a wilderness encounter. I don't know if I'm going to use it next session, but I absolutely might. So, why don't you give me, I don't know, some wilderness enemies. I'll pick my 6 favorite, and we'll decide what that means. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep in mind, they're not like super. They already fought an owlbear. Otherwise, I would take you up on the owlbear, but they already did that. Okay, gnolls. So gnolls are fun. Congolese rebels. Also, they are level 4, approaching level 5, so it can't be too much. Bears that are wild-shaped druids. That's a good idea. Bears that are druids. I like that idea. Very original. Very confused group of merfolk. 2 old bears. Lots of bears. Lots of bear. Magic salesman. I have a good idea for the magic salesman. Magic salesman. Okay. Succubi, dragon. A little bit too much right now for them. Playing, you're still listening in the background. It's a lot of fun, man. Hobgoblins. They did play some hobgoblins. Slimes in the forest? Explain how the slimes get into the forest. Thank you, Swamp8, for subscribing. Appreciate you. You're the best. A young boulette. That's in the range there. Swarm of beholders. A swarm of beholders. Just fuck them, right? Who wants to play anymore? Centaurs are actually down further south, so... A Demogorgon. Golden or bronze worm. Could be. The dragons are farther south, too, and right now... Rust monster. My girlfriend has an AC of 21, and I wouldn't hate taking some AC from her. But not right now. She just got that armor, so... But that's a good idea. Vampire cyborg. A gnome-sized troll. Trying to figure out how to get that in there. So I think a young dragon. Your boy's gonna pull out the monster manual now. A young dragon. A gibbering mouther is cool, but I have an idea for that later that I want to make sure that they get. So a wormling is a challenge level 3. So they could take on a dragon wormling. Not quite as fun. Could be fun if it got loose. I'll consider the dragon wormling. So we'll write dragon wormling down. Wormling with a Y. Okay. They already did some zombies. I'm going to go up a little bit. Gibbering mouther. Or gibbering mouther. Werewolf. I have ideas. Trolls. The trolls are cool because you can cut their fucking legs off and stuff. A lich. What edition are you playing? We're playing 5th edition, but as long as I can get a stat block for it or I create it myself, the idea doesn't really matter that much. A slee stack. I have to know what that is. Slee stack. Wait, why does that look so familiar? Oh, fuck. No. No, I refuse. The slee stack is from, is it Journey to the Center of the World? Is that what those are? Land of the Lost. That's what it is. Piss off gnome-sized troll with flaming crossbow. Cult. They've done Cult. Actually, I have a cool idea for a cult, but I don't want to talk about it because maybe they'll look. Flail Snail. We already did the Flail Snail. Flail Snail is very cool. I have Volo's guide. They got actually the glass and made some cool stuff. Justice League review coming out tomorrow. I'm editing it after this, actually. Doppelgangers. Okay, give me a backstory, Jolander or Yolander DeVries, for the doppelgangers. Give me a story there behind that, and I'll consider it. I feel like a normal person when Republicans talk about Trotsky when you talk about D&D. D&D is fun, man. Drow wizards who are hunting drow refugees who escaped the Underdark. The drow actually in my world don't go to the Underdark. They're just a racially subclass of the elves that live just on a normal plane. Vampires are good at lower levels. You can throw a Grig and a pair of pixies that pester them more than a day. Yeah. Grig. Let's see what a Grig looks like. I like the visuals sometimes, and it just... is a Grig that the big ass... it's like a lion tree, it looks like, or what? What the fuck's going on here? Or is it a grasshopper man? Is that a grasshopper man? Huh. Okay. Banshees. Sentient thorn tree. Rust monsters. Got rust monsters down. Why don't you change TBR to Hugo and Jake? 2 reasons. Because we're pretty sure TBR, the name of it, was doing 2 things. It was keeping people from clicking on the channel because it sounds boring, Christian, or edgy, which it's just a comedy channel. It was probably keeping ad rev from being a thing. And Hugo and Jake allows us to expand more. A red cap would be fun. Necromancer with an undead army. They've done that, actually. That is their big bad right now, is a Necromancer. So, red caps are cool. Maybe after the group kills one of the enemies, red cap... It could be. Be at the bottom of the video. Shambling Mound. What does it take to have fun with D&D? Being open to having fun. Honestly, that's really it. Bullywugs, they visited the frog people who are out east, so that's not in the same area. And they were Bullywugs and what the fuck are the names of those things? Grunges? I can't remember. The little poison frogs. Grasshopper Man. Group of doppelgangers posing as needy farmers that lull the group into complacency. Yeah, that'll work. Doppelganger farmers. Now, what do the doppelgangers want? This is the part where we get the backstory. So we're going to write backstories down for each of these ideas. So, what's the backstory for our gnolls? What do we got for the gnolls? Kobold cult worshipping a dragon shrine. Getting close. Frogolith, actually, the Froghemoth, I think you mean? Froghemoth is actually the leader of the gang that they're facing today. Not the leader of the gang, I guess. He's the mob boss. They want blood or pains. Are the Disney brand D&D sets? I don't think that's a thing. You could make it happen, though. It's not a big deal. You could easily translate this to, oh, no, I can't think of the name of the fucking game they do. Kingdom Hearts, if you want. Gnolls are hungry, duh. Of course they are. 2 doppelgang, obviously. Alright, so let's work on the gnolls. The gnolls are just hungry, burning down the forest. They want that ass. Banderhog is cool. Their homes by some threat. Okay, pillaging, I like that. Reason hunger being provoked by spellcasting and undead. No. Yeah, very cool. Any plans for a board card RPG based on TBR tropes and references? I was thinking more of a Pokemon ripoff. I think that'd be fun if you could fight with Jack Chick and Ray Comfort and shit. Gnolls ate something they probably shouldn't have. Now they are going insane. I like insane. Okay. 8 bad thing now insane. I like that. That's cool. That's fun. More powerful creature. I like that too. They want to avenge 12 dead children. Okay, so what are the druids? They're bears that turn out to be druids, which is a very fun encounter, by the way. I'm probably going to do 2 if I do that. I'm basically just going to keep this here, by the way, and I'll probably use these, and I'll let you know when I do. That's fun as fuck. I'll make sure to write down unpop stream fan ideas. Nice. Boop. There you are. Okay. Someone moving into null territory and pushing them to the forest. Yeah. I think that'll actually pushed into area. I think we can combine those 2 ideas because it makes a lot of sense. Also, gnolls are just fucking, they're savage, so they're fun to play as. Secret ball or side battles beforehand in order to gain money and influence. I do like that. I'm gonna write mercenary cabal separately somewhere else because that's a cool idea for actually a plot hook more than a random encounter. Very cool idea. Druids have discovered a new shapeshift form, but it drives them insane. Well, they're shapeshifted into bears, so. Druids are about to have a solstice thing happen. Okay, I kind of like the idea of a ritual being feeble-minded into believing they were actual bears. That's actually kind of fucking fun. But then that means I had to figure out who did it. And that's more of a plot hook than a random encounter. But I like that idea. So let's if that inspires more of a random encountery thing, that's also cool. Druids are mad at local children for making fun of their baldness. Fuck you. That's hilarious. That is hilarious. Oh, should I do that? Should I do an Alicia and the Bears thing? Wow, what a trope. What a fucking... Wow, they want to enforce the right to bear arms. I appreciate you, Silver Falcon, but Yolanda here... God, that's so funny. Let's work with the local children. Children made fun of baldness. So maybe they're chasing kids through the woods and our people walk up onto them. That's so stupid. God, that's stupid. They're going to love that shit. Okay. All right. So, what's the magic salesman selling, and what's going on with that? Like, why is there a magic salesman? What's he trying to get after? Barbarians. They're multiclassing as barbarians. I'd have to roll characters for that, but that's almost worth it. Jackster Piece, you know what? If you give me a couple level 3 druids that are level 1 barbarians as well, so level 4 characters that are level 3 druids... Well, whenever they get wild shape, I guess, or just give them wild shape. If you give me a character sheet for that, or better yet, a stat block, and I'll tell you what, I'll help you find it. If you don't have this, Monster Maker, here we go. Okay, just for anyone that is interested in this link right here. That is to a stat block maker. It might take a little bit getting used to. And actually, we'll do that. We'll do that sometime on stream. I don't want to do it right now, or at least not right this second. We might do it later. But if you come up with a stat block for me that's roughly a CR4 for that, I'll use it. Barbarian. Fuck you. God, that's funny. Okay. Magic battle thralls, you fat nerd faggot. Okay. I appreciate your just crippling insults. Druids. Okay, we got the druids. So Feeble Mind, Old Man, Evil Sorcerer. Hand of Vecna. I don't want to do Hand of Vecna because I and 2 of my other people watch Crit Roll, so I don't want to steal the Vecna thing. Even though Vecna's cool as shit. Doesn't a magic salesman sell magic? Yeah. He's selling kids for food. I have a good idea. What if What if the magic salesman is selling polymorphed like pets? He's selling magical pets, but it turns out they're actually people that are just been polymorphed. Do you like that? Oh, reverse needful things. I actually kind of like reverse needful things too. So what do you think? We're between polymorphed children or something, or reverse needful things. 100,000. What's a polymorph? Yeah, polymorph is timed. That's, yeah. Okay, so we're going with a polymorph. Okay. Polymorphed. We'll just call it fake pets. So maybe they get really cheap pets or something. Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. I really hope none of our people are watching this. If I'll have to find out. They should not be watching this. Stupid. If they are, they're ruining everything, and they ought to not. But I'm not necessarily using this for sure, but it is interesting. Although they're all pretty good about not metagaming, so it could be fun anyway. Giant cassowary. Have you never watched Red Dwarf? No, I've watched a little bit of it. Not a big fan of English comedies, but that is a pretty good science fiction one. I think Hugo likes it. Did he watch the whole thing? I can't remember. Anyway, Rust Monsters. This is pretty simple, but so the Rust Monsters don't necessarily need the motivation, but there's typically Rust Monsters are in mines that have precious metals and shit. So why are the characters down in this place that have the Rust Monsters? That's the question. Is playing without the DM the same thing as cheating on your... You don't get to play without the DM. There's no game without me. I mean, they could play another game without me, but no, that wouldn't be like that. It'd just be like I'm doing another thing. A Snidely Whipgrass, Arcane Trickster Rogue. That does sound fun. Transformers Code. It might be. Take as a thing for the suffering of children today. Polyed Rusties. Well... Yeah, that could be. That would be fun. Think you got a cute pet and suddenly it's making your AC fucking suffer. That's kind of funny. For the record, Rust Monsters, if the characters don't save, they have to roll a... God, I want to say it's a Constitution save, but that doesn't really make sense, so I'm going to check. They have to roll to save if they get hit by a Rust Monster. And if they do, what is it? Oh no, it just hits any oh, it's a DC 11 Dexterity saving throw to avoid the Rust Monster's touch. Rust Monster corrodes a non-magical ferrous metal object it can see within 5 feet of it. If the object isn't being worn or carried, the touch destroys. But that's only if it uses its action. Rust metal, non-magical weapons made of metal corrode after dealing damage. And it takes damage to the rolls it does. And at -5, it just breaks. Rust Monsters are fun to get rid of weapons or armor you don't want your characters to have. So I probably wouldn't use it right away, even if I did. Like, I know I'm putting it on a table to roll. Oh, there's something in my eyeball. Ouch. God damn it. But, can't see without these fucking things. Yeah, I just don't want to take all their shit they just got, so. Rust Monsters are evil. You have to roll and you don't know why. Is Rust Monster's rust ability supernatural? No, it's not. It's in its antenna, specifically. Antennae. Magic Salesman sells them polymorph Rust Monsters and undoes the spell as he initiates a fight with them. Could be, yeah. I'll keep that in mind. But say I want to use this for something else, just so I have it. Depends on what level they are, if I would put a mage and Rust Monsters with them at the same time. Yeah, oozes are good for getting rid of OP gear as well. I tried to let them have that stuff, though, and then the chance to lose it is fun. Make the rust effect AoE salesman has... Yeah, I mean, I could absolutely do that whenever I wanted. That's sure. Yeah. I don't necessarily want to take the stuff. I want to give them time with the things. And then later on have the possibility. What am I blim blam? Not much. Not much. Mother trucker. Let's do this. I'm going to tweet about this right now. There we go. Cool beans. All right, what else we got? Fund is research. Yeah, I like all of this stuff. Fund research. Research into what? What are we researching with the guy? Depends on the competency of the part. They're pretty competent, but again, a lot of them just got things they were really looking forward to, and I don't necessarily want to fuck them right away. But that doesn't mean I never want to fuck them out of their things if they mess up. What are religions like in your world? Religions are sort of floaty. Everyone acknowledges that the gods exist. There are 8 gods that are active in the world. So religions are often not culty, but specifically Lathander, who I stole from Forgotten Realms, specifically so that my girlfriend could use one of her characters that she likes, who is Elenia. She's a cleric of Lathandrian faith. She could have done something else, but she's even offered to do something else, but I was like, nah, fuck it, we'll keep Lathander, that's fine. Yeah, I want to enjoy the items, and then if they start relying on them, yes, you want to fuck them. Or at least attempt it. I'm not one to just, like, take their shit. I'm more one to give them an opportunity not to have their shit taken. Because, like, that's how real life works typically. Anyways, I also have a bounty god. I have a god of suffering. The Wanderer, which is a god that kind of just walks around, and sometimes they might walk into that god and not know them. Get them Craven Edge. For those who don't know, Craven Edge is a sentient sword that can cut the hand of Vecna off. I want to play D&D, but not in my country. Fantasy sounds so awkward and Hungarian. Weird. Yo, DM Jake, sorry for this off topic, but I have thoughts on Warlocks. It's not really off topic. Just got the books after not playing in like 3 editions, and the class stuck out to me. I don't really call it. So, Warlocks are here, let's pull up just so I make sure I give everyone the right information. Let's go to the player's handbook and look up this shit. The Warlock. The thing with a Warlock is you have magic through a pact typically. With like a god patron, something like that, and you get to know a lot of shit, but the invocations are the thing that you really get to know. I've never played one personally, but they are cool, and I find that. Sorry, I was reading. You can get a crossbow and a simple weapon to start out with. They give you leather armor, so it's a little bit more of a hardy caster. If you want to do something like that, it's a little bit more. But I believe the sorcerer is kind of like that too. Yeah, you can get crossbow bow and stuff, but they don't usually come with armor. Plus, their hit die is a D6 instead of a D8. So a warlock is kind of as close as you can get to. Without multi-classing more of a warcaster. Although, if you are more interested in even more special classes, Xanathar's Guide to Everything just came out, and they have class variants, wizard, and they have a cool one called Warlock of the Hexblade, and you get... let's see. You gain the ability to place a baleful curse on somebody. And as Hex Warrior, training necessary. You gain proficiency with medium armor, shields, and martial weapons. So the Hexblade... actually, I'll just show you a picture instead of that. So the Hexblade Warlock is more of a combat-ready Warlock. So I suggest Xanathar's Guide to Everything if you want to do something like that. I think that'd be a lot of fun to play. Kind of new to D&D. Anyone care to fill me in? Watch the series and then ask questions. If you have any more specific questions besides filling you in general on D&D, which is really hard to do, then have at it. Warlocks get weaker the longer a fight drags out. I mean that goes for basically any sort of thing that relies on casting. But yeah. If you have a pretty good DM, they should pace it well enough to where you have access to, you know, at least partial power most of a session. Playing at low power is fun, not fun. I do not know the gazebo story. DMing game for patrons. I would consider it. Absolutely. I guess D&D players are different. It just depends on how many there are, and there almost has to be like a vetting process, because we all know that some of us played with players or used to be those players that are that guy. Hopefully we wouldn't get that, but I would definitely consider it. Absolutely. Especially since we're going to be doing this more often. Maybe on Saturdays sometimes, like we can do a thing every once in a while. I don't know. But I would like to stream more often with this kind of shit. You roleplayed with Satanists once. Nice. Backgrounds are not specific. Yeah, who was asking that? Nathaniel, somebody. I have a fighter with a gladiator background, yet I think this is something more to do with the entertainer background. So is this a good thing for a fighter, or would I need to roll bar? Oh no, you could have a fighter and an entertainer. Backgrounds are just sort of flavor, but I mean obviously they give you some skill stuff and some equipment, and usually like a language or something, or some sort of, you know, something like that. I think a gladiator fighter makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it could be literally anything you want with any class. It's just up to you to create the backstory. That's just a you thing. It doesn't matter. Tell us what that guy is. I have no clue. So that guy is the guy, when you go into town, he spends the whole session wanting to shop for this and that. He metagames. So a good example of this is on Critical Role, Orion Akaba. The players knew that they were probably going up against vampires. Meanwhile, the characters in-game would have no fucking clue. And he was trying to get mirrors and running water and garlic and shit, and that's so annoying. Like, get in, get out. If you want to do this kind of stuff, you can do it in between sessions, like prep your DM on where you want to go. A lot of this stuff you could probably do outside of the game, where they can have that shit already kind of, like, prepped for you, so it can be a quick sort of jaunt instead of this fucking, I don't know, I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger. I feel like I'm far away from the camera. I don't know, there's certain kinds of players, and also players that don't realize when another character or another player is having a moment that is important to them. Yeah, an asshole. It's an asshole. So yeah, I tweeted you the gazebo story. Let me scan the gazebo story and see if it's good. The gazebo story. Oh, is it long? Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'll keep that here, but if anyone wants to read that now, because you took the time, I will share it right now. So that's the gazebo story. I don't want to read it right now, but I'm going to keep it in my browsers, and I will read it later for sure. But if anyone else wants to read it, cool. Yeah. Anyway. Do you have any great old one-type beings in your game world? Oh, old one types? So kind of like a Cthulhu or something like that? No, the gods are sort of aloof. But the Tarrasque does exist in their world. The Tarrasque is one of the most... He's a famous, not the most, but one very famous sort of enemy. He's a big-ass... Let me see if I can just pull him up. Just a humongous... Where are you? There he is. The Tarrasque. Legendary Tarrasque, probably the most dreaded monster of the material plane. It's gargantuan. It's a titan. It's huge. For instance, a character would be basically up to the ankle on this guy. Like right here-ish. They're huge. You gotta be really high level to fight one of these things. It's a challenge rating 30, which means a group of 4 players that are level 30. This would be a fair fight for them. The highest level you can get in D&D is 20, so that's much higher. Ooh, we got a little donation guy. So let's see what's going on here. Daniel Schmidt donated $10. Thanks for the info on Warlocks. I've been enjoying your D&D talks. I'm usually more of a sci-fi RPG, but you maybe want to get back into D&D. Also, I hate that guy. Thank you, Daniel Schmidt, so much for the Streamlabs donation. For the record, we keep every cent of Streamlabs instead of giving a cut to YouTube. So I strongly suggest streamlabs.com/actualjake. Thank you so much. That's my streaming thing. Really cool. I'm a full of spaghetti. I'm happy for you. Yeah, Tarrasque is fucking crazy. And if they absolutely want to, later in the, like, after end game, if they want to be like, hey, I just want to do some fights and see if we can do it, they can absolutely try. I think they'd get fucking wrecked by that no matter what, because they're the Bard specifically doesn't offer a lot of DPS right now. So at level 20, maybe he will. So you can do sci-fi in D&D. That is a good point. Let me show you. I actually did it the other day in my Q&A video, but just in case you missed that, which I strongly suggest, because a lot of you, maybe, at least 8 of you, possibly, had your question answered. Near the back of this book, they have, this is the Dungeon Master's Guide, the DMG. There are actually... things for... Oh, it's still this way. I went too far. Like they have actual stat blocks and stuff for, like, oh, I want a laser gun. I want a bomb. Where the fuck did that go? Did I really just miss that? Oh, here we are. Page 268. There's whole stats for guns and stuff. They have, you can't really see it very well, so they have pistols, muskets, the ammunition, the prices of these things, modern weapons like pistols, revolvers, shotguns, futuristic items like laser pistols and antimatter rifles. And it's just sort of give you a baseline because you can make your own. You don't have to follow anything that's in these books, but for the system they give you, they're supposed to, they do a really good job of giving you stuff. So level 2 that thinks he's God and tries to break the game is also great to play with, yeah. That's why I don't like playing Pathfinder, by the way. You could tell former Pathfinder players that really enjoyed Pathfinder that try to play D&D, they try to make they min-max a lot, and they try to make their character like just badass in battle. It's boring. Just Old Republic campaign. You could absolutely do an Old Republic campaign in D&D. I know people that do it. So, yeah. Go for it. Okay. So we took a little bit of a break. Let's just say the rust monsters are down in a thing and they are eating sort of, I don't know, there's a mine of some sort. One of the races has a mine. But at the bottom of this mine is something important. What is the important thing at the bottom of the mine that the players have to go get? That is my question to you, friends and fans. And by the way, thank you for rolling early. That was a lot of fucking fun. We'll probably do that either later tonight again or more. Timmy, down at the bottom of the mine, the well. No, we're not going to go with Timmy, the suitcase. Trump. Just make a Stargate campaign. That'd be fun. A mimic, asshole. A dragon egg. Critical Role converted from Pathfinder. I know, and there's obvious reasons they converted straight from Pathfinder into D&D. Wow, we get to decide. Yeah, fuck it. You get to decide. We'll figure it out. Magic sword, that'd be fun. It's pretty common, but an immovable rod, that is kind of funny. Just have to focus on RP and not combat. Ugh, it's hard to do. Pathfinder, I mean, any tabletop game can be roleplay heavy. Deck of many things. I don't know if I want to do that to them yet or deal with it. Once they're in town now filled with poor starving because their gem mine major source will is taking over our so you have to save them. Oh, okay. Just an infestation. Okay. That's pretty good. I'll write infestation in parentheses. Maybe. We could do it more than once, of course. The Philosopher's Stones are found in mine. A trapped fairy. Very fun. Hey, Jake, how's it going? Pretty good, Ryan. Appreciate you. A Neogi Great Old One. I second the infestation. Does that sound fun? So nothing really at the bottom of the mine, just sort of like the general, we have to sweep the mine and clear it. I do like it because typically there's some other sort of goal in dungeons, but I think just sweeping the whole mine and being forced to explore every inch of the mine before you go back up is fun. Wild magic potion, source of corruption coming from the mine. Okay. So what if this? What if the mission is just to clear the mine 100% of rust monsters, but something else is in there? Cursed puppy, skull that talks and constantly puts down the characters. I kind of like the idea of a talking skull, like a flame skull, but maybe it's a metal skull. Like, is metal running through it or gold or something? That's something that they would want to eat, but they can't get to it because it's a mage skull. Huge skeleton of a demon. They do have skeletal demons. Vessel containing a demon soul. Eggs, a chimera. Maybe less about the reward, more about how they don't do it. Right, yeah, that's kind of what I'm going. Drawn steel hero, good point. I play D&D, but I have a D&D shirt, so I'm basically an expert. Nice. Yeah, rust monsters can't eat magic. That's right. It's metal talking someone that has to be freaking the fuck out of some rust golems are going to eat it. Killed his body and summoned. Daniel Schmidt with a pretty good idea. He tried to go metal. Like, maybe he tried to make himself an iron golem of sorts, but just sort of mutilated himself in the process and ended up turning into a flaming skull. What's a flame skull in the monster manual? What's the difficulty class on that? Dragon turtle. Nope, not too far. Flame skull's not in Volos, is it? Oh, there it is. 4. Oh, that's actually fun. I like that. Sorcerer, and Flame Skull. That's fun. That's a whole session worth of an idea there. Sorcerer tried... We're going to put in quotes because you wrote it. Going metal. Good job, Daniel Schmidt. You're my boy. Turned into metal flame skull. And because of that, it's just a challenge rating of 4 right now. I assume by the time they get to that, they will be at least level 5. We can increase the armor class of the flame skull from 13 to about 15 because it's made of metal. And that'll make it a more fun challenge. Cool. That's very cool. Good job, guys. You guys are funny. I don't want to do a demi-lich yet. Because they're too low. But demi-lich is... That was the first thing that popped into my mind was demi-lich. But, would there be a free way to try D&D for the first time? I don't want to put money in if I won't like it. Yeah, absolutely. You can find the... Like, you can go on to... Let me find it for you. D&D starter PDF. The basic rules PDF for D&D is right there. There you go. Just click on that. You could download that. That is actually legal to have. Wizards, the creators of D&D, put that out themselves. And a Demi-Lich. Yeah, the Rust Monsters came to eat the Metal Sorcerer, but the Rust Monsters can't eat the Metal Sorcerer because he's magic. Better name, Metalhead. Nice. I like the idea of a mime. So it's cyber file not found. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Oh, it's not found. Why isn't that found? Okay, hold on. Let me D&D starter PDF basic rules. Okay, tell you what, I'm going to give you the Wizards thing instead of straight to the PDF. Try that link. That should take you to the basic rules. There's a download link down on the page. All Pathfinder rules and supplements are available for free online. I mean, that's fine. Pathfinder sucks. Boom! Roasted. Battles in use. Battle with other people on a boat while a sea monster is attacking the ship. Tons of fun. Yeah, I was actually thinking for the battle with in the town. They're in tomorrow. They're in a temple. Now I don't want any like gods happening or anything because it's not like that big of a scale thing. But during that, I was thinking I wanted another dimension to the fight that would make them not only consider who they're fighting, but some other option. I don't know what to do. I mean, like a bomb seems boring, but a bomb. Something like, there's a bomb that could go off that's behind the baddie, but they have to get past him to get to it. So I was thinking about something like that. I want to see a battle of gods commonly known about, nothing totally made up. Okay. Mike Norris appears halfway through the fight. Nice. I do like the idea of a mime. A mime would be fucking funny. Wild magical node that keeps altering the fabric of the unit. Well, that's a little too intense. Because it's not like this isn't like a crazy fight. This is something they decided to do that's going to be based in the material plane, basically. So I need a material plane standard sort of aspect to the fight, is what I'm looking for. A big high-level monster that takes time to summon. That's kind of fun, but we don't have any summoners. So that is something I have thought about and will use later. Old, decrepit elder brain that is starving to death is always a fun idea. Yeah. Well, she's a cleric of the temple, and that god would definitely want them to save them. We do not have a druid. We have a bard, a cleric, a rogue, and a ranger. Earthquake. How would they cause the earthquake? Because it's on a cliff, so that kind of leads to like it's falling off the back, and it forces them to push. But I kind of don't want to punish my cleric more than she's already been punished. Like I don't want to take her fucking hometown from her necessarily. Cultist summoning a demon thing. Well, they don't have cultists on their team though. That's the problem. Otherwise, that's an easy one to absolutely do for sure. Aliens, but with Onkeg. That's fun. Maybe the old Elder Brain. I do like aliens with Onkeg. If you guys know what Onkeg does, they can tremor sense, so they can feel people moving, and so they always know where people. Need a barbarian because everyone loves furry underpants and gray. We used to have a barbarian, but his life got busy. So, hostages being executed. Yeah, that was the one I strongly considered. But the townspeople did so good. We could always change it. A purple worm. Yeah, I just want to kill them. Unassuming maw, incredibly large mouth monster that's mouth cavity mimics a dead end cave when waiting for ambush. That's pretty cool. Hinders healing magic. I do like that. Although not for this encounter, but that is cool. I do like the no healing magic. With Egg the Elf in Elf Quest. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, Jeremy. If that is your real name. Spirit Naga. Lava Kraken. Oh, God. So I told her to die right away with bands. The bands could take them hostage. That's interesting. So we have hostage children. I feel like, though, because of my group, I want them to finish this fight. They'll bail on the fight and give the gangsters whatever they want. And I don't want to end the fight. I am on Facebook. I do have a courtroom drama thing planned. Tiny goblin wizard. They just actually talked to a nilbog recently, which is a goblin that's been what's that's not abducted, the fucking inhabited, I guess, by a trickster god, which is funny. Every party needs henchmen. Took a lot of inspiration for a warlock of mine from the Witch Cult Today album cover. I don't know what Witch Cult Today is, but that is cool. Gain inspiration and steal stuff whenever you can in D&D as a DM or as a player. So, if you want to spice up the gem mine encounter, check out Chrismal. A Chrismal? Okay. Let's check out a Chrismal. No, Chrismal. Ooh, that's kind of cool. What is that fucking thing? Is that a rainbow scorpion? We got ourselves a rainbow scorpion here? Okay. Where's a stat block for that shit? They have a stat block. Really? No stat block? Alright. Well, that is kind of cool, though. I don't know what it does, because I can't... Maybe I'll just, instead of images, I'll go... Don't show me that shit. What? Okay. Dark Vision, High AC... They burrow, shard spike, 3d6, and this is a CR3. Ooh, a little strong. Dimension door, sanctuary. Oh, wow. These are kind of crazy. Oh, it's a once per day shard spike. Okay, that makes more sense. That's a Pathfinder. Huh. That was the Pathfinder stats. Very interesting. Can you come up with your own... Alex Williams asks, can you come up with your own monsters to fight, or do you have to use the pre-made ones? You come up with whatever you want. Just as long as it works in a way that you can use the roles competently. Basically, you just have... You don't even have to, but I recommend using the gameplay style, the mechanics, I guess, is a better way to put it, that the game provides. So stat blocks should look like this and have the same information with the armor class, which is how hard it is to hit with a d20. Hit points, that speed, of course. This is just a flump. He's terrible. You don't have to have all these stats. Honestly, if you have armor class, hit points, a name, the XP they would get, and then their actions and any abilities. You don't need this other shit, really. You can, like, if someone makes I gotta make a charisma roll. Just you can decide on the fly what the charisma is for that particular monster if you want. I do make them. I make my own custom stat blocks all the time. So, with D&D Monster, which is a stat block creator. ASMR being corrupted magically. Well, my cleric is actually an ASMR, so. Reskinning monster is also good, yeah. Yeah, literally you can take the same stats and call it something else. It's not a big deal. Wow, he started you in a tower with nice. Good for him. Have an atheist god. Premise: all gods are imposters. This one is imprisoned on a planar prison to keep him or her from exposing the scam. Interesting idea. Don't even need to explain it. Leave them wondering what that was all about. Rolls to keep footing. Not sure what they'd be fighting, though. Well, that's a good idea. 2 girls, 1 immovable rod. I do like the Chris Collins' idea of the rust monsters eating the treasure the people are after. Very cool. Okay, so doppelganger farmers. What is their motivation? What are they farming? What does it look like? How many doppelgangers? They're actually kind of hard. Let's see. How many doppels? How many doppels can you have? Doppelganger. I think there are 3s. Yeah, 3. We could probably have 2 to 3 doppelgangers. By the time they're level 5. 2 right now since they're 4. Would be a lot, but I'd still do it probably because it's fun. So what do they got? What are they? I'm supposed to bounce on my elf dick for hours. Well, ooh wee. Are you doing Mr. Poopy Butthole right now? Is that a bit? A bit? Human meat to put in burgers. I do like human meat. They're being persecuted and merely want to live an honest life. I do like that. So do they attack right away? Or is this less of a combat encounter, more of a roleplay encounter? I am trusting my group, if they do watch this, to not enact it in the game. I have mentioned several times that they ought to not watch this, though. So, yeah. And if they do, I will change things on them if I know that they watched it. So. And that doesn't necessarily make it any easier or harder, though. Small family of doppelgangers who killed the original owners and took their place in cover for hunting people in a nearby village. They attack if they learn their secret and think they'll be... Okay. They are farming pumpkins. A man, wife, and child they stole farmed from an old dude. They are holding hostage, and they invite the players for dinner. I like the idea of having like a Hans Landa sort of Inglourious Bastards where there's people under the floorboards, but they're not speaking, and it's really tense. That's kind of cool. I like that. Hostages under floor. Boom. Very cool. Who was that? Austin Jeffcoat. Taking that. Don't watch this. Guarantee they will. Maybe. Possibly. But if I find out they watch it, of course, I change things. And of course, this isn't stuff they're definitely going to do. This is stuff I have it. I'm rolling on a table for this kind of stuff. So. Doppelgangers don't know that they're doppelgangers. I think after I introduce the concept of evil doppelgangers, that makes more sense. So do the doppelgangers, and then they meet doppelgangers again, but the doppelgangers don't think that it's a bad thing. I think that'd be fun. Do doppelganger like humans do? They can. You can never hit. No, absolutely not. I agree with that. Very cool ideas. We also have the dragon wormling. So the issue with the dragon wormling, at least where they're at right now, is they're about 300 miles away from the nearest wormling, but there could be a smuggling situation. The Aarakocrans and the elves are in an alliance against the centaurs. They're the tars, so the centaurs, minotaurs, other half beast, half people races are all in that. And the dragons are on the team. So, what if a doppelganger sees itself in a mirror? That's neat. You're a fucking nerd, Eagle cohort, who I know personally. So yeah, what if they're smuggling a dragon wormling, and it breaks out? Something like that. Centaurs, retars. Nice. Nice. I don't know. I'll tell you once. I'm gonna leave and come back for a second. But first, let's find something for you guys to look at. Let's do an image. Okay. Browse. I should have a slideshow. That's very easy to set up. Oh, not Bible episodes. What do you got here? What kind of cool pics do we got? Oh, well, that's perfect. That's just perfect, isn't it? There you go. There you go, kids. All right. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I have returned. I told you it was gonna be quick. So, I have fun taking a shit. I'm not taking a shit, man. I didn't take a shit. I got a beverage. And that was really it. But I didn't know how long I'd be gone because I didn't know what my dog was doing. So I opened the door so that Darwin can walk in and out. Vanilla Rockstar Zero. Was this vanilla? No, whatever this was. This is gone. No, I just wanted a Diet Dr. Pepper. A roke. Is it roke or rock? Because I have an idea for that. Doppelgangers are Zygons from Doctor Who. Doggo. Hey, let's get Darwin here. Darwin! Come here, bud. Come here. Hi. Up. Oh. Up higher. There we go. There's a little doggo for you. He's real cute. Oh, hi. Oh, he's being very sweet. Hi. It smells like someone hit a skunk. Not you, right? What are you doing? Get out from under there. Go on. Go. Dork. What's a cool encounter your players solved in a way you weren't expecting at all? A cool encounter that they solved in an unexpected way. Well, one of their first encounters, I gave them cultists that were racist against the different races, and specifically the religion of the cleric, and they didn't kill them all, which I thought was good. What's another one? Oh, they had a chase with an owl bear that was impromptu. Because they rolled poorly on their animal handling because they were in charge of some carts that had horses attached to them, of course, because there's no cars, and they rolled poorly, and so they kind of crashed a little bit, but not enough to like break the thing and be forced to fight. But it was a little bit faster than they could go because owl bears move at like 40, so their sprint was 80. So yeah, that was fun. They had an impromptu chase that they did a really good job up, and that actually showed up later because they shot it but didn't kill it, and then it came back later as a zombie because the necromancer had walked through. Cookie Quantum's not following. Thank you very much. So they fought the owlbear twice actually, which was pretty cool. Your dog ate your puke a few... How often do you fucking puke? What? My favorite story is a friend of mine that rolled a nat 20 on a swim check, allowing him to swim up a river and basically sequence break the adventure. There is... I guess it depends on what the DC of that was, but a natural 20 doesn't mean you automatically win. That means you have a 5% chance to move a mountain, which I think is stupid. As long as the check was within, 20 plus the modifiers, I don't care. But as a DM, I wouldn't usually allow that, unless they thought it was just a fun moment. That's fine. But how you guys feel about better cheddars, by the way? I got some better cheddars, and I don't know how I like them. I don't know. Salmonkin. Yeah. Okay. The dragon wormling. Aboleth down there. An aboleth? Holy shit, dude. A recurring good bad. Let's look at an aboleth stats. Because that is up there. By the way, an aboleth looks like this. More of an aquatic creature than a mine one. I guess it could be like a sort of a wet thing. They would get their asses kicked by this immediately. I mean, they could always try to run from it, of course. But it can charm, so with a legendary action. Oof. Oof. It's a lot to throw at them right now. Unless I just intentionally don't use that, but why would an aboleth not done that? Mirror duplicates yet? Mirror duplicates of the players. No, I haven't. But I've had them face... How do I explain this? So each of them saw something different from their personal life, and each of those personal things manifested from the encounter with the Nilbog. And each of those things said personal things to those characters, and they didn't like it. Goodbye, Cosmic Nemesis. Not charm, dominate. Oh, I guess because it's enslaved. I mean, they use the word charm here specifically because it's a status you can be immune to. And they use charmed in here too. DC 14 Wisdom saving throw, be magically charmed. Until the aboleth dies or it's on a different plane of existence. That's too much to throw at a character right now. And only one of them would make that wisdom save, most likely. Emotionally scarring the players is a lot of fun. They were all very upset. I liked it. Controlling people in the forest. I guess. I mean, I could always take the enslave and the legendary action of psychic drain away. But I feel like those are the two things it does. Like, that's what makes it a thing. Where's David? What are we talking about? What? I'm interested in... Oh, new to D&D, sorry that sounds dumb. Where is the board? Gotcha. So Eagle Cohort did mention this. So yeah, it's not a board game, it's a tabletop game. So, ooh, I didn't move my light back. Ugh, must look weird. Studio lighting. Sort of. I'm getting lights right up here, but they haven't come in yet. So there is no board. It's a tabletop game. So if you want to, which you, by the way, you don't need tactical battle maps. I prefer them. I think it's more fun. Kind of takes the game from being a role-play game into a tactical game, and it's kind of fun to bounce in and out of that scenario. There's no board. It's just all in your head, which sounds lame, but it's not. It's actually better than having a board. So. Are you doing anything like leveling up items like the vestments in Critical Role? They could find some magical dormant in mine. Not yet, but I have plans for all of them to have stuff like that. Actually, no. One of my players recently got a... Albatrosky, thank you for the $5. Make a big batch of eggnog for the holiday season. How goes... I missed it. So let me read it on this one. How does that make you feel? I love eggnog, actually, and I would love to have some. Too bad by the time it got to me, it'd be spoiled. How do you make your eggnog? I should make some eggnog. Might be a joke, though. Because last year, with poisoning the well, we drank way too much eggnog, and it was awful. Hi, buddy. Darwin's back. I was talking about a thing. Vestments. Hugo's girlfriend, who plays the rogue, she got a demon dagger that she wanted, but it's cursed. She will take equal damage if she deals the killing blow, and it's not the demon dagger. But as it levels up, it does cooler things. So she just has to make the killing blow with the dagger if she makes the kill at all. Now she could try to incapacitate and not do a finishing blow, but the dagger is still going to do the damage if she does. She knocks it down to 0 hit points. It's semi-sentient, I guess, but the more kills she gets with it, and I told her to track her kills with it, it will level up, but the curse is the same. So I figured it'd just be fun. Half curse weapons. It's sort of like a half curse, because it's definitely beneficial. It does more than just a normal dagger, but after it levels up. Yeah, the aboleths are CR10, but because of the dominate shit, like that's its own like plot, because it can dominate, and if it does, you have to save your friends, right? So, do players in your game ever play monster races from Volo's Guide? None of them have played a monster race. But one of them plays, well, formerly two. So one of them used to play, he doesn't play with us anymore because his life got busy. He played a Goliath, which I know isn't a monster race, but it's a race from Volo's Guide. And then the cleric, my girlfriend, plays an ASMR. Love you too, Steve. I do like Sunblades. They're basically... I know ASMR is from Volo's Guide, but it's not a monster race. They have the player races and then the monster races that you can play as players. It's a subtle distinction. These are actually greasy. I don't know if I like those. I think I'm done with those. Do you ever mess around with disease? I will. Yeah, I will. I have a couple of diseases in mind. I don't know if they're necessarily going to catch it. They're going to have an opportunity not to have it, but yeah, it's okay. He had to drop out of the game. 4 is a good number. Maybe at some time we'll have a 5th or something, but 4 is a good number of players. By the way, that guy wanted to, I love him to death, but he wanted to also, he's like, hey, can one of my other friends come and play? And I figured he'd have a hard time showing up anyways. Of course not. Why? What? Don't do that. If you want to play, show up, you know? If you end up you can't after the first couple sessions, that's fine, bow out. But, like, communicate that, because it's really frustrating. Because we canceled a whole session for him, and then he ends up not coming again, so it's like, could have just gone without. What are the classes and races of your players? Do they have any interesting tidbits that make them stand out? Well, I'll go through them. So, we have Elenia, who is an ASMR cleric of Lathander. She is a cleric of light, which is I think it's an unearthed arcana class with I allowed. She I don't know, she tries really hard to help everybody, and she tries not to kill anybody, but she did agree to let some people that were killing a kid or trying to kill a kid, she let the rest of the party take care of them, and she actually lost a spell slot due to her god for a day, which is kind of fun. I'd show up, Jake. Wink. I bet you would. Then we have Evelios, who is an Aarakocra. An Aarakocra is... Oh, I guess an Aarakocra is in Volo's Guide too, isn't it? They show up in a lot of places, though. There's a bird person. He's a black and white owl. A snow owl, if I believe correctly. Person, so he can fly. He's a ranger. He's a lot of fun. He's of noble birth. And he has a thing where his brother actually took over the old kingdom, which was formerly more of like a republic, and now it's they're trying to be an empire under his. So and Velios disagrees. Then we have Zudre, who is of mysterious origins that I know. I actually know more about her origins than she does. But she is a drow rogue. A drow is a dark elf, and a rogue she's an assassin, so she just kills a lot of shit from the shadows. It's a lot of fun. She's a funny character. And then there's Hugo's character, who is the professor. He is a human bard. And you can probably guess where he got his idea from. Yeah, Silver Falcon wants to lick my delicious booty hole. Well, I'm not really into rim jobs, sorry. I fucking love owls and bats. Okay. I am happy for you. Rule of Ettercaps as monsters. They're basically humanoid spiders. That was their second session ever, and Ettercap was in a sort of underground cave system controlling spiders, and the spiders were stealing wolves. The spiders were pretending to be wolves. They mimicked the hunting patterns of wolves and were stealing goats from a farmer. And yeah, Aarakocra's from Elemental Evil. Is it only from Elemental Evil? I thought there's definitely stats in one of these books for an Aarakocra, but I think we did use the one from Elemental Evil, now that I think about it. And Webgarot. Actually, the bird was interesting because he's an Aarakocra, he's technically a natural predator of spiders, so they were a little scared of him, and I didn't expect that until I got there, and then I was like, well, that's gotta be a thing, right? And but the Ettercap tried to garrot him, but he escaped. I gave him a shot to do a dex save, because the Ettercap was I think they're a CR3, and they were level 2 at the time, so I gave him a little bit of a shot. You could do that, by the way. You can kind of bend the rules if you want. I've never pulled a punch, though, and I refuse to. At least, I did. Well, I won't say I fudged rolls or anything, but I definitely didn't do things tactically that I might have done after they had played a few sessions, because they were so new. I wanted them to get used to the system, but they are able to die at all times. I love getting players' backstories involved with the main game. Most of our game right now is roleplay, and I love it. It's great. Sarcophagus filled with someone that someone want. They have a sarcophagus in their future if they plan to do a couple things that I have in mind. With that in mind as well, what you're talking about. Webgarot is fucking cool. Yeah, you should use an Ettercap in your things. That is considered a dick move in bird person culture. Trying to think. Any more questions? Keep in mind, baby birds, I do have a fancy new Streamlabs, so you can absolutely do that because you love me, and I love you back. Does that actually go anywhere, actually? Actually, I don't know if that actually works. Boop. Because I clicked that link and it didn't do goddamn anything. There we go. Do that one. There you go. That worked. Anyway, I'll be streaming more often, by the way. You ever mess around with multi-classing? Yeah, absolutely. I allow multi-classing. It's fun. I think like Hugo, he thinks he's going to take this next level in Bard, which would be level 5. But at level 6, he may take a level in Alchemist, which is in Unearthed Arcana. I believe. Elemental Evil? Unearthed Arcana. I have it somewhere up here. No, that's the wrong one. I actually have a character I rolled for myself. Maybe we'll talk about that next time. Dragon Turtles, cool or uncool? They're cool if you don't want to attack your low-level party with them, but they are cool in general. I'll show you guys a Dragon Turtle. Dragon Turtles are neat. Not a lot of people are familiar with the Dragon Turtle. That is a thing in D&D. This is a Dragon Turtle. Note the size relative to the ship. Large galleon or whatever they got there. This would be cool. Was that a CR 17 or something like that? Yeah. Challenge rating is 17. You get 18,000 experience points for that. A little much. It's a little much. Worst part about multi-classing is you miss out on the level 20 stuff, which is amazing. Correct. But if you want to level up to level 21, I will allow it. Stuff like that. Is there anything the players could release from the mine on accident while they're clearing it out? So, right now we have the rust monsters, possibly hey, Daniel Schmidt, what a nice gesture. Somewhere at some time the player should face a twisted bondage demon that tweaks one of its nipples creepily while it talks. Any hooks for the characters? Having make decisions where there's no right answer. Best of multiple bads. Thanks for the stream. Thank you, Daniel Schmidt. I'm going to write Bondage Demon Bad Decisions on my notebook because you did that with a donation. Bondage Demon plus Bad Decisions. I will... That is a cool idea because... It's off-putting to have a bondage demon be a thing. Where it's like tweaking its nips, and maybe it has like chains attached to those nips that are attached to the wall or something. It's like hanging by its nips. Isn't that what Wild Bill did? Or am I thinking of a different serial killer thing in a movie? But anyways, and then having them have to make really bad decisions. Yeah, that's fun. Glitch X Machina. Hey, thanks for watching. Sorry you have to go. I love you. Have you done Displace Beast? We literally did a Displacer Beast in the last episode, and they got some materials from it, but not as much as they could have, because I did really poorly on the survival/nature roll to skin it. So they're gonna get something kind of cool, but not as cool as it could have been. So what do you think they should be able to release from the mine on accident while they're clearing it out? Because at the bottom there's like a flame skull that is metal, that is of a sorcerer right now in our heads. Give Tarrasque a breath weapon and it's pretty much Godzilla. That is a good idea. Hellraiser, sort of Hellraiser, but more with like nips and stuff. Plus you have to watch out for players who use multi-class to build stuff. They can be a bit broken. Paladin, Warlock, for instance. Well, I mean, if they want to use the base game to make something broken, if they have the stats to make up for it, I'm kind of okay with that. Flammable gas? That's kind of fun. Succubine and Incubi CR4, you could totally use them. I could totally use one of them as a bondage demon, that's for sure. All right, Succubi. For the record, I will put in my notebook anything you pay for, I guess. If it's not fucking ridiculous, if it's not like, something comes out with 20 dicks and tries to fuck the players, I won't do that. But I will write down in my notebook any actually genuinely good ideas you have, for sure, 100%. If you, even if they're marginally good, that would be fucking amazing. But if you donate too, that's a good stream rule, I think. If you're willing to spend $1 or more trying to get a message to me that I'll definitely read, I think you deserve to be written in the notebook, the goddamn idea notebook. And this could go on for years, so who knows? I might get to yours. And I'll try to remember who did that. Actually, Fuck. Does anyone want to track down the name of the person that had the bondage demon idea? I fucking forgot it. No! If you are still watching the stream, let me know if you're the bondage person idea. I'll recognize your name when you say that you were. Fuck. I'm annoyed. But I want to have your name so I can try to make sure that I let you guys know when I do pick your shit. Poisonous guys that you need to plug. Ooh, I like the idea of once you pull them out, you have to escape from the mine. And we'd do like a little chase. Let's do that. Mine escape. That's a good idea. Maybe a poison cloud, so it's not necessarily like falling rocks, which is kind of boring and seals you and can kill you immediately, but immortalizing the idea of the notebook. That's goddamn right. Immortalized. Someone told me the Bible does mention dinosaurs as dragons in Revelation. I mean, there's a lot of... Was it Daniel Schmidt? Was it you? No. No, was it you? How did I not remember your name? You've been giving me good ideas all night. Huh. Succubus could instantly kill if they charm someone, yeah. Yeah, Succubus are a little strong, so I might do a... There's some demons in here. Was it a bone devil, actually, I was thinking of? Bone devil. No, that's a 9. We do a bearded devil. He's kind of... I mean, you could always just take, like, a chain devil or something and loosen its... You could just make it CR easier. Oh, a pit fiend, a level 20. Yeah, I would probably do some sort of demon that I make up myself for that I'll have roughly based on one of those. No, thank you, Daniel. You the best. How about a room with a boss, but there's no gravity? That's interesting. I'm kind of thinking of ways to take away the Aarakocra's flight from time to time. Also, the Asamar has flight. She could do ethereal wings that pop out of her back. So 2 of my players can fly. There is a little chain devil. I know there's a chain devil. No, I know. I was reading it. But its CR is like 8 or 9. Also known as YouTube personnel. Fuck you. Would you consider a totem akin to Marvin from Hitchhiker's Guide? Like the size of a bobblehead so he can be carried around? Yeah, it depends on if he could do stuff or not. And if he could, it'd be very easy to make him not do stuff. So like an AC of 5 and like 5 hit points. But I wouldn't let him attack or anything. But I would, if you want like a secondary character, I would personally love that. That's kind of fun. Phase spiders are... Yeah, phase spiders are fucking fun. I was considering that if they went back to that town, maybe where the Ettercap was, maybe phase spiders or something. Can't go our flightless... No, I know. I'm saying take their flight away as far as, like, in a fight. Like, I make their flight impossible. Maybe... I mean, yeah, a low ceiling is absolutely something I could do. I mean, I have at times definitely done that, but I feel like I want them to have what they think is the option to fly, like really high or into a good vantage point or something, and it's just impossible or very unlikely, and it would I don't know. I like the idea of subverting their expectations for good or bad in their favor or out of their favor. It makes me happy. Shoot their wings. I mean, that's easy, but if I say, for instance, your wings are shot... Well, first of all, the Asamar's wings are ethereal, so I mean... I was thinking like magically sucked to the ground or something, which seems like a cheat, but it's kind of fun. And then maybe they could scramble for the button to undo the magic magnets that make them suck to the ground, but... The inner ear. Ooh, so they'd have to maybe do a constitution roll, like a pretty high one. Yeah, can tap out of tiredness. Thank you, Rogue Gunner 69. Nice. Have a good night. All elementals, I believe, in the book are CR5. But an air elemental, that would be fun. Because you can fuck up the air. That is kind of fun. Yeah, the rock is pretty high level. That's like 9 or something, right? Had to fight a burrowing monster. Yeah. Older people can't hear higher frequency. You're saying random shit now, huh? That's fine. I like that. I think I have everything because I already had the fight prepped. I would show you the stat blocks for these things, but I'm gonna wait till next time we stream, so that the players don't have any chance at all of seeing what's coming. Aliens and Onkeg. I'm gonna write that down. Swamp Ape because it's so cool. I'm gonna write that down. Oh, we got Jackster Peace donated 10. Thank you so much, by the way. Barbarian. Sorry, Monster Maker's confusing, but I will keep working. Jackster Peace. Jackster Peace. Bar. And then caps. Bear. Barbarians. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. You're the best. Was the I wanted Swamp Ape Aliens on Keg. I'll write that down. Aliens on Keg. That's very cool. They even have acid spit. You're right. You are not wrong at all. That is cool as shit. Succubus that gives you the burn. I don't like to do sex roleplay. It's creepy and weird. How about rope fellas swinging around the place? Rope fellas? God damn it. That's funny. I don't know why that's fucking funny. Rope fellas. Oh my goodness. Oh. It still smells like skunk. Okay, does anyone have any Ropey Boys? 2d6 for dick length. No, that's more like 2d4, friend. Don't sell yourself too much. You're gonna like this guy for, you know, he's one of us. He's a rope fella. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for me regarding D&D? I'm thinking about 9 o'clock. I'm probably gonna sign off here and stop sitting for a little bit. And maybe cook some dinner or something, because those beta cheddars weren't very beta. A night hag would be fun. I want to get into hags, but I kind of want a coven of hags, kind of like Witcher. I think that's funny. Players actually rolled for dick length in one game. I'm not interested. Their hit die plus con mod and inch. Wow, that is good for them. That's gonna lead to some pretty large D's though. What is 9 o'clock in rope time? 9-0 rope. Love all your D&D stuff you do. Thank you, Dylan Flater. How you say it? Appreciate you. I love doing that too. Do you know and or watch Runehammer? No. How do you handle character travel as a DM? It depends on how they want to travel, and it also depends on how much I have prepared or want them to get through in the session. I often like to give them slow time together so they have roleplay opportunities. And I also really like having I don't know how to explain it. Having pacing, I guess, is the word I'm looking for. Like sometimes I just want it to be slow because it can be stressful to always be fighting shit. And there is downtime in D&D, like in the real world. If you were in D&D, there would be days on end where you're not fighting crazy shit all the time. So I like to kind of give them, you know, like a stroll through the woods sometimes. It's just nice. Also, Daniel Schmidt, I'm making you a mod. You seem like a good guy. I'll also make an Eagle Cohorter mod because he's my actual real life friend. So thank you for sticking in. Huh? How do familiars work for rangers? Depends on how you want them to work, honestly. It was a meme, Jake. You're a meme, Jake. Um, um, I like the way Critical Role does it, where it's just you get the beasts that you want at that level. I would make my characters roleplay for it if it was something they multi-classed into, or if it was something that maybe I thought that it was too strong what they wanted, but I was like, okay, well, I promise that you can have an opportunity at this, but we're going to do it later, sort of thing. Yeah, and then you just take the stats for that character, that animal, and it carries over. And then you can get stuff for it, armors and stuff, which I think is fun. If you could choose the next official D&D book, what would it be? Oh man. Wow, the next official D&D book. Everything they have in Unearthed Arcana, that they haven't put out. The Artificer class, specifically, like new classes, new races. I think just the more stuff you have for players is better. And then another, like I have Monster Manual, I have Volo's Guide. Give me another one of those kinds of things. I want more of the monsters in the universe. It's just always fun. So one for the players and one for me. Something like that. Gotta sleep to make more salty videos. Yeah. When are you uploading gameplay? What kind of gameplay you looking that you want? Are you talking about on Unpop or me personally streaming? We do have some Kenneth in the works. I promise. We just talked about that the other day. Wanty Pyramid in the mind. That actually sounds like a lot of fun. So I will put Wanty Pyramid. I'm going to write reverse because I like the idea of a pyramid that's inverted. Lady Gaga's pretty... Okay. Smegmatron. You guys. Okay. Disney Princess. That's a terrible idea. It's gonna be 4 books in 2018. Awesome. I don't know anything about those, but I will probably pre-order all or most. I don't usually get the modules though, so that's not a thing I would get. I have not listened to Brian Posen's Nerd Poker. Played Tomb of Annihilation yet? No. I don't like... I don't know, modules take the fun of it out for me. Like, if I was a person that didn't have a lot of time, I guess I would do that. But the fun part for me, DMing, is them playing in my world, not me playing someone else's. So, I probably wouldn't do that. I could take... ideas. Would you ever do a meme campaign? Not a campaign, but I might do a meme sort of one shot. Do you implement a lot of puzzles and riddles? Last session was mostly puzzles for the first 4 hours. Riddles, Hugo's character gets riddles regularly. It's pretty fun. You finally got someone to say Smegmatron. Now it was twice. Have you based any characters off of celebrities or politicians? Caricatures of caricatures. Like, for instance, the cultist that they faced on the first day was just racist. But he was sort of like an extreme version of someone that would chant "Build the Wall," but not because they think, like, a person that wants to build the wall for no other reason than brown people are on the other side of it. Like, not even someone that has a good argument for building a wall. You know what I mean? And then there was basically a gun nut without guns that was arguing against my girlfriend's character Elenia, the cleric, last game, and that was one of the roles you guys did early on in the stream to decide which kinds of townspeople were helping or not. I once had a Gnome King based off Danny DeVito. That makes a lot of sense. Modules do have some stuff you can use though, Jake. New beast. I know they do. I actually have Princes of the Apocalypse right there. Well, I guess let's just right here. I also have Yawning Portal, Storm King's Thunder, Horde of the Dragon Queen, and Rise of Tiamat, which I believe is Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat the same fucking thing. Like they run together. But those are my girlfriend actually bought those before we were together, so or very shortly after. Any more questions, my nignogs? We got about 5 minutes left. I'm gonna do my best. Storm King's Thunder, the one. Yeah. She's played some of them before though, so I definitely don't want to do it. But some of the settings are pretty interesting. Is the Tars faction hostile to the party? They are hostile to. I'll explain this more in another video, most likely about. I think she has Curse of Strahd downstairs. I can't remember. Maybe not. I don't think. Maybe we don't have Curse of Strahd. But the Tars faction. They're hostile, not necessarily straight to the party. They're hostile to the people they're warring against, which is currently the elves and the Aarakocra, of which we have 2 each, or one each in the party. But they're not part of the army, so you know. Do you watch any other D&D streams other than Critical Role? Harmon Quest, but it's not really a stream. Do you prefer to be the DM or the player? Both have major benefits. As a DM, I get to make... Like, I'm confident that we're going to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? I've been spoiled as a player. Actually, Eagle Cohort down there was my DM for a very brief time. I think 1 or 2 sessions, which was fun. We had some players that weren't as fun. But a couple of them were actually really, really fantastic players to play with. Specifically, our druid, who I thought was just great. And another one of my very first DM and the longest one I ever had, his name is Mikey, and he is a professional comedian, and he was absolutely incredible. His wealth of knowledge is beyond anything I could possibly consider. I think maybe in 30 years, I don't know. He's in his 40s, but he's fantastic. So. I'm a speaking player, but I'm the only person that knows how to DM. Yeah, but as you sort of move further into that, maybe one of your players will want to DM, and then you can switch off. I would consider it. I would ask, hey, are any of you interested in being a DM? Because every once in a while, I would love to take a break. You know, I have busy weeks, whatever. But if you all want to play, but I didn't have time to prep, we could do, you know, whatever the other thing is. Are we talking about your delusions? Is this one of the situations where you kind of like reach out into the internet for attention on your crippling mental illness? Because we are here for you, but you know, maybe not as much as you want or deserve. Okay, so about 2 more minutes, and then I'm getting off my butt for a while. Because my butt hurts. Been working on a campaign world based somewhat on the new gods that came to me in a dream. Oh, that's pretty cool. I know it was me now. Well, I'm glad that you are getting over it, Jeremy. I appreciate you. I think about D&D stuff as I go to sleep usually. It just kind of pops up. I don't know if I've ever had a dream that inspired me, but it kind of, because it's so complex, it kind of helps my brain not think of other shit. I have a hard time sleeping. My brain is one of those that just like fucking is just always on. So my butt hurts. Yeah, my butt hurts. Anyway. We have a really good time though. I'm really excited for tomorrow. Your dreams are boring. Eating pizza or sitting on a bus? That sounds like a pretty good dream. I'll have a dream about pizza. Wow, now I want pizza. Actually, tonight I am making street tacos. Meat for street tacos tonight. For all the people coming over tomorrow. Gonna be a good time. All right, so unless anyone else has like a donation question or something else, a 72-hour fast. Well, that's, I don't know why. Are you a wrestler? Oh, I like the Tal'Dorei campaign. I didn't get the book. Christmas is coming up though. Buy me the Tal'Dorei campaign guide. Thanks for sticking around. We'll definitely do more streams in the future. I did this earlier on Twitch, but not the same thing. But apparently Twitch doesn't let you stream at the same time, which I think is sort of garbage. So I'm probably gonna do some Twitch, some YouTube. So it just depends on if the thing I'm doing on that particular day would be applicable to Unpop. And if it's not, then I'll just do it on Twitch. So if you are interested in the Twitch as well, I strongly suggest it because I will be putting content out there. There's the link right there. Been a lot of fun. This was actually a really good time. I really like kind of crowdsourcing the thing for two reasons. The first one is my brain is only one person's brain, and while I think I'm an alright smart guy, and I'm pretty creative, I mean, I wouldn't have come up with any of this shit without you guys, so thank you so much. My players are really going to enjoy it if and when we get to these. I'm definitely going to try to use the ideas that come up in donation ideas, and if I can't, I will save them and eventually get to them, hopefully. And I'll let you know when I do use them. The Barbarian from Jackster Piece is closest, but maybe Swamp Ape's Alien Ankeg thing will come up too soon. So thank you again so much. It's been a lot of fun. Jackster Piece is now following. Thank you so much. Link isn't working. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is twitch.tv/actual Jake. Why isn't that working? Why wouldn't that work? Does it work? It works for me. Wait, whoa. Unless you got a time machine. Hold on. Hold your phone. Hold the phone. Why? Okay, I'm just gonna do this without the HTTP. Well, hold on. I was signing off. I was in a groove. It's just actual Jake. I don't know why that would. Just copy and paste that into your browser if you want it. You've been banned. I didn't actually do that. I think you wrong browser. What? Yeah, just copy and paste it. I haven't been banned. It's right here. I can see it. That's clumsy, I guess. Anyways, thanks again. I love you very much. So much so that I'm going to give you guys a little heart guy. And, yeah, so we'll do this again. I'm going to try to do this every Saturday around 4 p.m. So hopefully we can get, like, a really fun little thing going, because I'm going to be prepping on those days. And unless I have a lot to write, you guys will be heavily involved. So, yeah. Should be a really, really good time. And hopefully my players learn to watch this after the fact. So, yeah. Thank you. Definitely go to the Twitch. And again, if you absolutely want to, I would really appreciate a little bit of that Streamlabs, because we get to take all of that instead of just the fucking... just the super chat. But super chat's good too if that's the way you work. And also I'll be doing other stuff on Twitch and maybe also here throughout the week. I'm gonna try for 11 a.m. At first my sleep schedule might not allow me because I am such a fucking night owl, but I'm trying to do it so that I wake up around 9 and by 11 o'clock I'm ready to stream at least 3 times a week so that I have a normal human life. And also this is gonna help pay the bills, like, for real. So anytime you guys watch or like donate a buck or whatever, it's really genuinely helpful. So thank you again so much. I love you. I love you so much, especially you, Dark Beast, Dylan, Ninja Chicken, Swamp Ace, Johnny, Mark, Don.